Yo, what is going on, everybody? Back at it again. Happy Father's Day. Shout out to all the great fathers out there in the chat. DJ, happy Father's Day, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Game 7, man. How are you feeling?
Buddy?
What's going on, everybody? It's going to be a good day. Some of us might lose our sanity. Some of us, may be jumping up and down. Brooklyn Nets got out last night. There you go. A good day. It's a good day, man. RB here, DJ Eastwood, Philly take with RB, run it back Philly. What's going on, everybody? Shout out to the chat. We already got 120 in here. You guys are insane, man.
Wow.
Game 7, yo.
Game 7. The hype is real. The hype is real. Hey, by the way, everybody, busr.com/runitback. Deposit $100, get a free $100. Put $200 on the Sixers. Promo code RUNIT100.
There you go. Go put your money on the game, man. It is going to be a wild atmosphere in Philly. We've already dropped a couple tough ones at home. We feel like we should be out of the series, but man, I'm getting a lot of flashbacks thinking about, a couple years ago. I'm thinking, a couple years ago is funny. That game was on Mother's Day. This one's on Father's Day. That series played out exactly game by game the way this series is played out. I don't know, man. We have to get the job done. Give me your thought.
I saw somebody saying that, man. That series, the wins and loss pattern in that series is the same as this one. And if we get another buzzer beater off the rim 5 times, I just might not ever watch Philadelphia sports ever again.
It's crazy. It's crazy because we were just talking about it. And, 2 days ago, we were all ready to burn this team and this city at the stake. and now it feels like we have a legitimate shot of going to the final. Like, Philly sports is hard to explain, man. It's really tough being a fan.
I'm so sick of this. Why do I do this to myself?
It's a love-hate relationship, man.
We were really – looking back on the Game 5 reactions, it is absolutely hilarious how much the entire city was completely done with this team. Burning jerseys and everything.
I can't believe it. And we had to come on here, man. I know it's earlier in the day, but we had to get this preview in. We wanted to collab. You guys love it, man. Shout out to the chat, all the channel members. Shout out to Perk coming in here with a $5 donation. Says, how about them Nets? DJ, give us your thoughts on the Nets, man. I've been celebrating all night. Go ahead. I
said all season that they were going to implode. I thought they were going to not get along, but they didn't even get to play together enough to not get along. So that's a joke in itself. And then all the if they were healthy, I was saying today on Twitter, I was like, dude, these 3 guys haven't been healthy for years. And I went back and looked at all the games played, and Kevin Durant hasn't played more than 60 games a season since 2018. James Harden's the same way. Kyrie hasn't played 60 games in a season since 2016. So you signed a bunch of 30-year-old guys that are injured all the time, and then shocker, you get bounced in the second round because nobody's playing because they're injured.
Yeah, it's been a weird postseason. Like, every team is injured. The game 1 of the Western Conference Finals is on today. Kawhi's out. CP3's out. It's crazy, man.
Is that a daytime game?
Yeah, it's on 3:30, I think. But cool. I'm just happy that, that the Brooklyn Nets are out. And shout out to all the little Sixers fan frauds, the Brooklyn Nets, best offense of all time. Well, guess what? That offense is short-lived. Second round 2021. They literally have 1 more year together to try to win. People want to talk about injuries. Every team is literally injured, okay? I'll tell you why they lost. They shot terrible last night. Yep. In overtime, they couldn't buy a bucket. Yep. And they let Giannis come on their home floor and take it. And I'm just so happy because even if we don't win, the Nets are out. And, we're going to hear all the excuses now. Oh, they were injured. Steve Nash literally made an excuse. If Doc Rivers did that at a post-game press conference, we would literally be burning this man.
Yeah, that's just unbelievable that he made an excuse. And the James Harden was 2 for 12 from the 3-point line. 2 for 13 or something. Yep. And again, even he blamed it on his injury. He said something about his nagging hamstring injury. I don't see him limping up and down the court. He looks like he's running full speed. Dude, you just shot terribly because you haven't played the game the whole year, And then if you look at his playoff history, he has a ton of playoff games like that where he goes 2 for 13 from the 3-point line. So, I don't think the injury excuse is valid.
Yep, and we're going to talk about the Sixers, but one more point on this. Like, the Bucks did everything they could to lose that game. They inbounded it to Brook Lopez in the corner with 2 seconds on the shot clock. He throws it up to, like, literally tried to lose. I don't know why you draw that play up. And then Giannis, they inbounded. He fades, throws it off the shot clock. They couldn't even score in overtime. I'm like, yo, come on. Like, they tried to lose. Joe Harris missed an open 3 in overtime that could have gave him the lead.
He was bad. Joe Harris was bad. He's been bad. He's 5 for his last 22. You know that.
Yep.
And Ben Simmons is 5 for his last 22.
There you go. Crazy, man. But the Nets go down. I'm happy. But with all the trolling, man, we have to get it done today. We have to get it done. Shout out to everybody. We have 200 in here. Hit the like, subscribe on both channels. We're live on both, man. Give me your thoughts, man. Tell us, what are your first thoughts about this game tonight? Like, we know, like, game 7s are just crazy, man. But if it's anything like that game last night, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I hope it's not an overtime game. But it's just, I feel like this Hawks series has been going on for 2 months. Like, It is so up and down. I've seen 6 different versions of the Sixers in 6 different games. I've seen an aggressive Ben Simmons in game 2, and that now feels like it was a year ago that he was aggressive, and it was just a couple games ago. I wish I could say what to expect. I really don't know what to expect. It's unreal how unpredictable everything is. Everything has been with this team. Realistically, what should happen is what happened in game 2 and 3. A comfortable 18-point lead, finish the game out, win the game. The team with more talent on the floor wins. Trey Young was big time at the end of last game. That fadeaway step back 3 and I literally said he's going to make this. When the ball's in the air, I was like, he's going in, and he splashed it. But he did it. He does everything he can, but they just don't really have enough talent. I mean, you can't win. I don't think you can go to the Eastern Conference Finals with Trey Young and John Collins. I just don't think you can. The Sixers have 5 times the talent. I mean, just Seth Curry, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey coming off the bench, Blank Simmons. I don't even know what to say about him anymore. But I want to see a lot of Tyrese Maxey. It's basically do or die for us. You kind of just have to hope he keeps playing like a veteran guard and not a rookie at this point.
I agree. It's all good points. Shout out to Hayden with the $4 donation. Says, I'm loving Seth Curry right now. Seth's been amazing. I've almost come to expect 20+ from Seth. We're going to need it tonight. But I agree with what you said. My take on this game is, game 7s are crazy. Usually they're like low scoring, gritty, tight. And when you come out, it's like we're going to look at every possession down the stretch. I can't even tell you how many times I thought about possessions 2 years ago down the stretch. Like, every play, dribble handoff, can't get a shot off in the corner. Like, those run through our minds. And down the stretch, we're going to have to be good. Joel, I'm hoping that they can pace him again. I've noticed in the first quarter they like to, get others going and give him, a chance to pace. But late, Joel's going to have to put it on the line. We didn't even play that good last game. No. Like, the games that we collapsed, I felt like, okay, the Sixers choked these games. Yeah, like, the Sixers choked these away. I feel like last game Atlanta kind of choked it away. Like, they were going. They were playing harder than us. And they just stopped hitting shots. So, we're going to have to hit shots, man. Seth, I'm not even expecting anything from Ben at this point. Like, I'm trying to look at it through a lens where it's like, okay, we have to win without Ben scoring.
He could at least play better defense than he played last game. Like, at least lock down Trey Young. If you're not going to score on the offensive end, don't let Trey Young go for 30 and 10.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And to your point about Tyrese Maxey, this is one of the biggest things for this game, in my opinion. Doc cannot be stubborn. I don't know what version of Doc Rivers to expect, and that sucks. Like, one game he can make all the great adjustments. The other game, like you say, he has a love affair with Shake Milton. He keeps Ben on the floor in crunch time. Like, if he doesn't know by now, like, late down in this game, Ben cannot play most of the fourth quarter. Tyrese has to be in. We can't go and live at the line with Ben Simmons shooting free throws. It cannot happen.
Yeah, they're not gonna. if we thought they did Hackabin throughout the series, they're going to all out. They're going to pull out all the stops in a game 7. You know what I mean? I expect Hackabin with 5 minutes left in the second quarter if it's a close game. I expect it halfway through the fourth if it's a close game. I mean, it's not fun to watch. I know. The coach, what's his name? Nate McMillan.
Yep.
I know he probably like dies inside a little bit when he does it, but at the same time, you're doing everything you can to try to win a game. And if it's legal, if it's part of the game, and it's going to give you an advantage, you're going to do it. The second half of the fourth quarter in this game, if it's close, might be horrendous if Doc doesn't get Ben out of the game.
Exactly. I think Tyrese has to play 30 minutes again. I think he has to play 30. He's a spark for the team. And Doc's been going deep in the rotation. You cannot do that today. Kevin Durant's played every minute the last 3 games. And I'm not saying Joel can play every minute of a game, but they're going to have to be in most of the game. We can't have a 5-minute bench stretch with George Hill, Furkan Korkmaz, Matisse. Like, we can't do that in this game. We can't. Yeah,
Tyrese Maxey and Matisse Thybulle, these dudes are 20 years old, man. They can play 48 straight minutes and go run a mile and stay up all night playing video games. Like, they got, they're 20-year-old kids, man. I don't even know how old you are. You probably got a lot more energy than me too. But, I'm 35. I take naps now. But these kids can run, man. Just leave them in the game.
Exactly. They got to play a lot of minutes. Tobias has to be huge. I was proud of Tobias last game for rebounding, coming out. He started slow, got in foul trouble, but he kept on, finding his spots. He kept on knocking down shots. Like, he didn't give up. And you saw when we got the production out of Tobias, we won the game. Like, we need that. But, yeah, we're going to need a lot from Joel, Seth, and Tobias, to be honest. And if Ben could even step up and, for once, be aggressive, like, that would help us so much. But I just can't come to accept it or expect it, I mean.
Yeah. I don't know why. The plan for Tobias Harris in Game 6 was so much different than Game 5, and then it was so much different from Game 2 and 3. I keep screaming about, like, in Game 5 and 6, no, Game 4 and 5, Tobias Harris hardly had the ball in his hands the whole game. He put up like 6 shots.
Yep.
That doesn't make sense to me. And then they come out Game 6, and it's like Doc Rivers was like, oh yeah, I do need to go back to running plays for Tobias Harris and getting him in, like, one-on-one situations against smaller guys in the paint and coming around screens at the top. And as soon as they did that, he started scoring points.
I'm a little bit worried about when it comes to Doc Rivers because, the last couple Game 7s he's had, let's be honest, they haven't been too pretty. You know what I mean? I mean, this guy's had chances to go to the conference finals. Like, I don't want to say it, but he's had a couple chances here, and he hasn't coached the best in Game 7. So now I'm not going to blame last year because, Pandemic P hitting the side of the backboard, can't shoot, but you know what I mean.
Pandemic P, man. Yeah, I hope he does what he did in Game 6. I don't know why he's so up and down. I just think he does a lot of what Brett Brown used to do. He goes away from what works, and he gets, like, stuck in this mode of, like, I'm going to keep trying this same thing over and over.
Yep.
I don't know what after Game 5 made Doc Rivers say, I need to play Tyrese Maxey. Like, I mean, we were screaming it, but was he really at home watching YouTube? Like, I can't figure out why everybody in the world was screaming it, and then Doc Rivers says, I need to play Tyrese Maxey. Just a little coincidence.
Yeah. Ever since we went to that game, Game 2, he just, like, fell back in love with Shake Milton, and it was just a flash in the pan, Like,
yeah, Shake has a little bit of a spurt and stuff, but he doesn't even have 25% of the skill that Tyrese Maxey has.
No. Tyrese Maxey, man, he had that look to him last game, like, I want the big moments. He wanted it, and he was not phased at all. But
it's actually crazy. I can't even believe he plays like that as a rookie.
Crazy, man. 20 years old. But let's get to some of these super chats. Shout out to Darian with the $2 super chat. Thanks so much. And then we have, let's see, we have Hayden coming in with a $10 donation. Thank you so much. Says, I got this Sixers. As far as the players' game, they know what's on the line. I think they're going to play more mature than the Hawks. As far as coaching, have no idea what Doc we're going to see tonight. Yeah, I agree. The players better know what's on the line. They better come out on fire because last game they did not come out on fire. They didn't until Tyrese came in and he provided the spark. Him and Thybulle.
Yep. Yeah. Rewatching it. When I watched it live, I was at a bar. I was setting up a DJ event and I was watching it, and it's just different when I get to go home and rewatch it on NBA League Pass and really watch what's happening. And I hated the first couple minutes when I was watching it live, and I was like, get Ben Simmons out of here. This dude's running up and down the floor doing absolutely nothing. And then on the defensive end, Trey Young's running right past him. He's not going around screens. And as soon as they took him, as soon as he got his second foul and had to sit, Tyrese Maxey came in and sparked him, and Matisse Thybulle, man. Those two guys together.
It's unbelievable, man. And the thing that got me about Ben last game, it was like his body language in the first quarter. Like, he didn't look like he was on fire. He had his hands at his side, like you said. Like, he got that third foul, which was terrible. He just went back to the bench, put on his little warm-up shirt, and it was like, he didn't even look like he wanted it, man.
The second foul on Kevin Huerter, I think, on a fast break layup, I really think he's like, you know what, I'm going to foul this dude and sit down. Like, that's what it seemed like. He just hacked him in 3 minutes into the game. Yeah,
I agree. And shout out to Darian coming with the $4 super chat. Says Ben's playing his last game in Philly tonight. What are your thoughts on that, DJ?
I really don't think they're going to lose this game, so that's probably not true. But if they do lose this game, I would pretty much there's no way I could see Ben Simmons coming back here next year. I don't even think I could see him coming back here next year, regardless of what happens. I just think Daryl Morey as a president and like a GM, I guess, it just doesn't make sense to pay this much money for a guy that isn't giving you much production. Maybe on a different team with different players where you can run them at the small ball 5 or something like that. But I think this is the final year of trying to make this work.
Yeah, I agree. I'm glad that we have Daryl Morey, who's known to like be able to move some of the big names, but yeah, it's just gotten so bad. It's just disappointing. It really is. Like, I feel like we don't want to focus on it too much, but it's like everywhere we try to look elsewhere, it just circles back to that flaw. And it's like, I mean, the shooting is one thing, but then when you're shooting 30% at the free throw line, like there's something wrong mentally. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he'll go out pregame and hit 5 in a row, and then he just can't in the game. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know what happened. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in Philly sports. The Ben Simmons saga is crazier than the Markelle Fultz thing. Is crazier than It's just so crazy.
We get stuck with Markelle, who pretty much forgets how to shoot, and then we have a guy that can shoot and won't. So there you go. Unbelievable.
And then I mean, every team. Nelson Aguilar for the Eagles for like 3 straight years is a first-round draft pick that couldn't catch a football. It was polarizing. There's every year, every team, there's something just ridiculous. That goes on.
Shout out to Hayden with the $5 super chat. Is meant to say go, and then shout out to Hayden with another $5 super chat. Says the city will rip them if they lose tonight. Literally rip them. This city is the greatest sports city in the world, in my opinion. The fans want to win. You know, if we lose a third one at home, because usually we don't lose more than one at home in a series. If we are to drop this tonight, and we're, you know, to me, like this game, this season isn't even on the line tonight. I'm talking about like multiple jobs, just everything that we've worked up for like over the past 6 years is on the line tonight. This has been our threshold, our breaking point. When we played Boston and Toronto, we were the underdogs. This series, we are the heavy favorite. And if we can't pull this one out, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if guys are getting stuff thrown at them on the floor.
You know, the whole season I didn't want to be extra negative. But if we lose in the second round to the Hawks, then I think the Sixers didn't really play any strong teams the entire season. Would be true. Like, we're 1 seed and we're good enough to beat all of the mediocre teams in the NBA, but you know, we haven't really played anybody at full strength that's a championship contender. Like the Bucks, we played without Embiid and lost in overtime, I believe. You know, it's just been a weird season. So the 1 seed, if we lose in the second round to the Hawks, then that 1 seed is just a coronavirus 1 seed, I guess.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. Like, I feel like we're so like in the middle of everything here. Like, this is going to, of course, this championship's going to have like an asterisk next to it. Like, look at all the teams that are still in. Look at the injuries that are going on. But at the same time, like, it's a special year. And like, if we win this game tonight, like, I feel confident that we can at least put up a fight next series. Like, but if we go down in this one, man, the process, like you said yesterday, I was watching, is over. It is a failure. And Let me just say this. Just say if Ben Simmons goes out tonight and puts up 5 shot attempts and we were to lose this game, it's going to sit in our stomachs a different way, like knowing what could have been. But we have to win this game. We should win this by 10 points, in my opinion.
Yeah, I want a nice, comfortable. I feel like we should have blown this team out several times. We were up by 26 points. And we couldn't finish it. Like, I would love, I'm sure everybody would love, just one of those games where everything clicks and it's a 30-point game and B-ball Paul plays the last 5 minutes. That's what I would like to see. That's what I would like to see.
I would love it. Shout out to Alec with the $2 super chat. Says, what's on the line tonight? Shutting up Atlanta. That's another thing. I don't want the Hawks to win, man. They've been, like you said, it's been a roller coaster series. I don't want Atlanta to go to the conference finals. And, they've been talking their stuff. They think they're the better team. We are the better team. But we have to get it done. If we don't win, then technically we're not the better team because we didn't finish it off.
Yeah, and I think if we win this game, I think we're actually going to look better against the Bucks than we did against the Hawks. That might be a hot take, but we're having serious trouble with Trey Young. Yep. And he's the entire driving force. And the Bucks don't have a guard like that. They don't have a guard that's going to cross you up from 40 feet out and shoot from the logo or anything like that. I just think the Bucks have more talent, obviously, than the Hawks. But I just think the Trey Young's so hard to defend, especially when the refs are giving him a whistle. And I'm just ready for it to be over.
Right. I agree. And that's another good point, the officiating. They need to be on point. They need to let them play today. We didn't even have a starter in last game in the fourth quarter who had a free throw attempt until 7 minutes to go. I mean, that's ridiculous. And we're in Philly today, so they need to give us our respect. Speaking of that, too, I don't know if you saw, but Joel Embiid got fined $35,000 for his scuffle. I mean, I don't understand, but whatever.
I mean, he stood up and pushed him into the stands, I guess, but he was holding his hands back, which was funny.
Right.
It looked like he beat him up without hitting him.
Yeah. I mean, he did get pushed on the floor too, and Trey Young pushed him in the back, but whatever, man. That's
just funny because John Collins, I'm so amazed all the time when I think about how gigantic Joel Embiid is and how just he's just a massive person. And I'm sure if I saw John Collins in person, he would look like a giant to me. And Joel Embiid makes him look like a child. It's just he just leaned over him like, bro, are you serious?
Yeah. And I could see this game getting chippy a bit as well. But, man, I want to shut them up. I want to shut them up so bad. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got almost 500 in here. Hit the like, subscribe. Both channels, we are live. Philly Take with RB. Run it back, Philly. What do you I don't know if Bogdanovich is going to play today. If he's out, that's huge because, he can heat up at any moment. Now, Kevin Huerter is in. Bogdanovich may be out. He got hurt on that screen where Simmons ran through him and they called it a foul.
Dude, he hit him so hard in the chest. I watched that 3 different times. I don't even know what he was trying to do. That was his first foul. Before he hacked Kevin Huerter for his second foul. I mean, He didn't even try to go around the screen. He literally lowered his shoulder and just destroyed him. Yeah, he literally ran him over. If he can't go today, that's huge because – And, hey, Ben, if you're not going to score points, at least, take Bogdanovich out of the game. So thank you, Ben Simmons. Thank you for that. Exactly. There you go. Terms of the Hawks, Gallinari's been stepping up off the bench. This guy comes in and hits the craziest shots. Kevin Huerter had a good game last game in the first half. I don't think he's going to keep that up. He's had a pretty below average series in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I just don't want to see Trey go off for 40, Ben Simmons did a good job against him in the first couple games. What did you think of Tyrese Maxey last game? I thought Maxey, was the guy that was able to stay with him. Yeah. That late 3 you talked about earlier, Tyrese Maxey defended that possession beautifully. He did. Nothing he could do more than that. No, yeah, that was just a ridiculous shot. Doc Rivers said Tyrese Maxey did the best job guarding Trey Young on the team last game. And that's crazy because we say we need Tyrese Maxey on the floor to run the half-court offense. I didn't expect this kid to be playing defense the way that he is. Yep. I mean, if he can play defense on Trey Young first of all, the sky's the limit for the dude. He might be an NBA superstar in 2 years. Yeah. But also, like, he should be playing a lot of minutes. If the only thing that was keeping him from playing was that he was playing bad defense in the beginning of the season, I don't see any reason for him to not even be a starting point guard right now if he can play good offense and good defense.
Right, I agree. And down the stretch of tonight's game, unfortunately, we'll get into our predictions, but let's just say I have a feeling it's going to be a gritty, close game, and we have to see Tyrese Maxey for most of the fourth quarter. Like, you and me both, like, we remember what happened a couple years ago. We didn't have a point guard on the floor, and we were doing dribble handoffs with JJ Redick. Like,
Game 7, JJ Redick. Yeah, it's like Seth Curry's been amazing, but this whole Ben Simmons brings the ball up, hands it to Seth Curry, and sets a screen. I don't think that can be your main offense. I don't think that's a sustainable offensive game plan. I'm so sick of seeing it. It's the most annoying thing ever. I can't figure out why the guy brings the ball. Why does Ben Simmons bring the ball to the floor? I don't get it. But anyway, I just don't think you can run your offense through Seth Curry. I don't think he's a good enough guard, facilitator, anything like that. He's just a great shooter. And, you absolutely need Tyrese Maxey on the floor.
Yeah,
it's the reason they drafted Markelle Fultz, for this exact reason. He was supposed to be what Tyrese Maxey is doing right now.
Exactly. And how much smoother does our offense look with Maxey and Curry in the backcourt? Like, it looks normal. We've been deprived of normal.
I feel like I can breathe. Like, I'm suffocating watching this offense, and then it looks normal, and I'm like, oh my God. It's like normal. This is amazing.
Oh my gosh. A point guard can do a pick and roll with Joel Embiid. And Joel's this great without ever having a point guard. And that's just insane to me.
Yeah, it's actually sad that he's spent this many years in the NBA and hasn't run a traditional style offense. It's really a disservice to him.
It's insane. It really is. Shout out to With God coming with the $5 donation. Says Doc should put his ego aside and let Sam Cassell coach. He coached the majority of Game 6. I did see that too. Doc was laying back in his chair and Sam Cassell was up doing his thing. Doc just does the same thing, subs, same time, just terrible. Look, Doc can't get in his own way. Like, if there's any way that Doc, like, we'll say it again. If there's any way Doc comes out here and literally does things that make no sense, like keeping Ben in and letting him get fouled, or bringing in Shake Milton, like, you can't do that tonight. If Furkan is off tonight, get him out. Don't bring him back in. You can't run a 6-7 man rotation. I don't care. Live or die with your guys.
Yeah, the Bucks and the Nets both played 7 guys. The last 2 games of that series, they played 7 players each. It's Game 7. There's no 27 minutes for starters. There's no 32 minutes. Like, it's Game 7, dude. It's 40 minutes apiece. The bench guys, I don't even want to see Shake Milton on the floor. I don't want to see there's not many guys off the bench that I want to see besides Matisse Thybulle, Dwight Howard for maybe, hopefully, like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
You can't run 11 guys. You just can't. And I can't believe he's been doing this in the playoffs, especially the all-bench lineup. We didn't even think he was going to have enough players in his rotation to do an all-bench lineup. And he did it like 5 times already.
Yeah, and he does it for like 6 minutes at a time. Like, that can't happen, man. Every game, when it gets to the end of the third quarter, I say, here we go. I'm a bit worried about this time. The end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth is my most scary time of the game. He brings in the whole bench, and every single time we have a lead, there it goes, going away. And
he talks about it like it's normal. He says the second unit. He's like, the second unit was getting beat up, and we put the first unit back in. Why is there – this is not hockey, bro. It's not an entire line change. Why is there a whole second unit? That doesn't make sense. And also, when he is playing the bench unit and they get beat up, he calls a timeout, and he comes back with the same lineup.
Yep.
Last game, he did it twice. He called a timeout twice when Atlanta went on a run, and the same lineup came back on the floor. I couldn't believe it.
Yep. I agree, man. Doc's got to get out of his I don't know what version to expect, but we have to get the great Doc Rivers. Everyone, like, some people are just very confident in this game because we're coming back home. I feel like the momentum shifted. Like, I do feel like last game was the hard one, but I'm not going to say I'm like overly confident in this. Like, we still have to handle our business. I'll give the Hawks credit in this sense. They went on the road and beat New York in the Garden when it mattered. They beat us in our building when it mattered. I don't think the Hawks are going to be, overly phased coming back to Philly. Like, they're confident because they won here a couple times. So we have to still play a very good game, to be honest.
Yeah, they won in Philly. We won in Atlanta. Yeah, I don't think anybody's like majorly benefiting from a home court advantage at all. I mean, the fact that we blew a 26-point lead at home is really unbelievable. We're usually unstoppable at home. I don't think Atlanta has trouble playing in Philly at all. Do you think it's possible that Ben Simmons actually comes out here and puts up 18 points?
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to say no. I feel like it's going to be the same game from Ben. Like, I feel like he's comfortable in his role, and I feel like he thinks what he's doing is just normal for our offense. Like, it's almost to the point where I feel like Ben's like, I just don't have it. I'm just going to defer to Seth Curry and Tyrese.
Yeah, then you got to defer 75% of your contract.
Yeah.
Nobody drafted you because they thought you were going to cross half court and hand it off to Steph Curry's little brother.
Right. I just don't get why he can't be aggressive. There was one play I was laughing so hard last game. Shake Milton was trying to find Ben in the post, and he dumps it into the post, and Ben does a tap pass. Like, he doesn't even catch the ball. He just taps it right back out. And I'm like, are you kidding me, man? Like,
I didn't see that one.
He literally Shake threw it into the post, and Ben didn't even catch it. He just tapped it right back out. It's like he doesn't want to like play offense. He doesn't.
Yeah. So did you see Shaq and Charles Barkley talking about the Sixers last night? After the game.
I did.
They just kept it so 100, and I'm like, dude, this is exactly what I've been saying. What we've both been saying for a long time. And Charles Barkley is just like, you're just not going to win with a guy that's afraid to shoot the ball. It doesn't make sense. It's never happened before. Nobody's ever won a championship with a guy on their team that's afraid to shoot the ball.
Exactly.
I don't even think I've ever seen a player that's afraid to shoot the ball.
It's unbelievable.
There's players that are bad at shooting, but refusing to shoot, I've never seen it before.
I don't get it.
And Charles also said, I blame the Sixers. They should have been forcing him to shoot 3 years ago. Exactly. And he said, I would have been in practice running scrimmages, and every time he passed up a wide open shot, I'd make the whole team run laps. Like, you have to be that hard. The problem is somebody gets drafted this high, gets paid this much money. You think he's untouchable, and you're not allowed to yell at him. You're not allowed to treat him like a child. He was 20. He was 21 years old at the time. You have to be. I don't care if he's worth $100 million. You got to snap on him. Yep. Tell him to get his head out of his ass and shoot the damn ball. But nobody would do it. Yep. And now Doc came in, and we thought he was going to do it, and he's enabling worse than Brett Brown did.
Yeah, that was my thing. Like, I was waiting for a new coach, and I said, okay, Ben's going to, someone's going to light a fire under him, and it was actually the opposite effect. But you know what Ben looks like to me now? And that Shaq thing was good because Shaq looked in the camera, and he was like, yo, take it from someone who couldn't shoot a lick. Like, you just have to be aggressive. Like, put your head down and go to the basket. But I used to like Ben's demeanor. Like, I thought he would never, really get phased, people talking smack doing this. But now he kind of just seems to me like a guy where it's like, you got to nudge him to do anything. He doesn't have the star kind of mentality where he steps up and he's like, I'm going to do this. No, he doesn't say a word. He just stands there and he's like, Ben, go do this. And it's like, okay, that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, he has a lot of physical gifts and just a really soft mentality.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have the killer athlete mentality. It's just, I don't know what else to say about it. I just don't
get how Ben can look, Joel in the face in the locker room after some of them bad losses and just, act like he gave it his all, like act like he went out fighting. It just didn't look like that. But shout out to Darian coming with the $2 super chat. Says, when the Hawks win, will they beat the Bucks? Well, I wouldn't be too confident, my man. I wouldn't be too confident with the Hawks winning, but no, they don't stand a chance against the Bucks. That's my opinion, though. That's my opinion. Let's see. Let's read a comment. Michael says, is the whole stream going to be about Ben shooting? Can you guys shut up about this? He's not going to shoot. Well, this whole stream isn't about Ben, but being one of the integral parts of the team, it must be talked about. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Like, we have to talk about Ben Simmons because, I mean, he's part of the team and he's supposed to be an integral part. But, you know, sooner or later, we won't be talking about him, honestly.
I'm not even going to respond to that. That dude, Michael's probably about 6 years old.
Oh, man.
Can you guys shut up about this? Well, just close your laptop, bro. Turn your phone off. Whatever you got to do.
Yeah, there's no apologizing anymore for it. Like it.
I don't understand people that tell me to stop talking about things, bro. Nobody's holding my YouTube videos in front of your face.
Right. Even it's gotten so bad. Even Mark Jackson on NBC Post Game Live, he came out after that epic collapse and he was like, you know, I know we're paid to talk and represent NBC, but you know, I don't care. Like someone's got to speak the truth. Like 4 shot attempts is absurd, but it's just crazy, man. But MC215 with the $2 donation, thank you. Says, what's worse, Trey's haircut or the Hawks fan base? Oh man. The Hawks fan bases, they've been talking a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they haven't been here in a long time. You know, it's fun for them to feel like they have a team that's going to upset every team in the playoffs. I saw a Hawks article that said, can Trey Young lead the Hawks to a championship?
It's the Hawks to me are the Hawks to me are literally the Sixers from 3 years ago. Like they're young and hungry, but they're not there yet. Like this is an experience you take with you and you go on to the next few years, you know, and you try to get another piece. But the Hawks aren't a championship team. Come on, man. Let's be real about it.
No, they're not. Not at all. Mitch, what's up, man?
What's good, Mitch? And Michael here says it's not the problem is not just you, it's every single Sixers fan. Well, maybe that signifies something, you think? Maybe if every Sixers fan is talking about it.
Yeah, what? Yeah. Like what? That's what they say. They're like, oh, all of Philly sports media hates Ben Simmons, all the YouTubers hate him, everybody talk like maybe it's him. I don't know, dude. Or maybe we all live in a secret society and we randomly hate Ben Simmons, and we all got together and decided to all hate him at the same time on the internet. Maybe that's what happened. Or Ben Simmons is making everyone hate him.
Yeah. I mean, we just want to see our team win. And if you're a Sixers fan right now, you know how much is at stake tonight. Like we've literally sat through years of losing on purpose for moments like this to move on to the third round. Like we just haven't got over the hump. Like, and if we can't do it now, I mean, after we upgraded our team this year, then it's a failure.
I mean, he's going to get hate. You have 3 max contract players on your team, and one of them is not showing up. Obviously, people aren't going to be happy with that. How do people not understand this?
Exactly. And it's like, you know, this isn't like, no offense, this isn't, you know, some town where, you know, they just let everything slide, where the fans don't go to the games. Like this is Philadelphia, man. Like you don't put on, you're gonna hear it. Like just how it is, man. Sarah says Ben's entitled. Yeah, I agree. But do you think let me ask you about George Hill. Do you think George Hill is going to get any minutes tonight? I thought his defense was okay last game, but I don't even know if he can get a lot of minutes.
I think he always plays decent defense for his size and stuff. I just don't think he had enough time with this team really to find out his role. It just looks random. It looks totally random when he's on the floor. He also looks scared to shoot it for some reason. Like there was a couple plays last game where he could have pulled up wide open and like did a little dribble drive and kicked it back. And I'm like, is this an epidemic? Is this an afraid to shoot pandemic going on right here? That, you know, we have 3 or 4 players on the floor now that are scared to shoot the ball.
Yep.
Shake Milton does it a lot too. Like, I don't know about George Hill. I don't think he fits. I don't think he has a role. It just looks random.
Well, let me ask you this: like, if say Furkan is cold, right? Like, say he's having one of them nights, you insert Tyrese, right? But you may not be able to have Ben on the floor a lot this game. Like Ben only played 25 minutes last game. Part of that was foul trouble, but part of it was just he couldn't be on the floor. So, like, Who do you view as that last guy that we can throw in there? Like, that's going to give us a spark. Like, I really don't know.
Yeah, like George Hill didn't do anything last game, really. I think he hit a 3, but just having a ball handler on the floor is a benefit, I think. Right. And him and Maxey, when they were on the floor together, you know, I like seeing ball handling guards that can make the defense move, that can play basketball the way that I've always known the game to be played.
Yeah.
I mean, dribbling and penetrating and shooting is like a major part of the game.
Exactly.
And we don't have enough of it.
Yep, I agree. Shout out to With God coming with a $15 donation. Thank you so much. Says, it's just sad. No disrespect, but what does Ben's dad say to him? Does he even talk to him at all? Even Shaq told him to man up. This boy's playing like a girl. It's absurd. Very absurd. It's just – I mean, yeah, like it's there every game. Like if it didn't affect this team winning, we wouldn't have to talk about it. But it's a major flaw, and like a lot of the other flaws lead back to this route. Like
I think his family probably just enables it and tells him that everybody's a hater and that he doesn't need to listen to them. Like I really think that's what happens. There's a fine line between being loving parents and not being hard enough on your kids to tell them they're doing something wrong. Like
right.
If I was out there in high school and I was afraid to shoot, my dad wasn't a basketball guy, but my coach would have been like, "What are you doing?
Right.
Shoot the damn ball."
Exactly. And that's a good point. And do you think Doc Rivers, like, we know what he does in the public eye, but like, what do you think the conversation's like behind the scenes? Like, do you think he tells them at all or not? Do you think it's just the same?
Yeah, it seems weird. It really seems weird. I feel like he says something to the media and then he goes and does the opposite behind closed doors. And I don't know. I would love to be able to hear the conversations that he has with his whole coaching staff. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they've had heated debates already, you know, sitting at a table like, "Doc, we got to get him off the floor before 2 minutes. We can't play like this." I wouldn't be surprised if they have heated arguments because it's just such a crazy topic. But yeah, I don't think Doc tells him to shoot. I think Doc tells him what he's doing is fine, but then he realizes 3 quarters into the game that it's not fine. I don't know.
It's crazy, man. It is crazy.
Maxey over 25 minutes, Philly Mike. Maxey over 25.
Yeah, Maxey's to me, he's got to play 30 minutes a night, no doubt. Shout out to Dominic. Thank you for the $3 donation. We appreciate it. And shout out to Leon with the $2 donation. Says, "What up, Eastwood and RB? I appreciate y'all. Thank you, my man. Much love." We got 700 in the chat, guys, combined.
Wow. Everybody
hit that like, subscribe. Game 7 preview. Give us your thoughts, comments, questions. What do you guys think is going to happen? What's at stake on this game? I think everything, man. I think everything we've been building for is at stake tonight. It's going to be nerve-wracking. Marky, what's going on? It says, "I hear y'all, but I'm not giving up on this team or Ben. He can still turn around and have a good game 7 and be key next series." He can be. I agree, he can, but it's if he wants it. If he wants it bad enough. You know?
Yeah, I don't understand how he shot 70% from the line in that Jazz game. He went 12 for 13 actually, which was like 90%, more than 90%.
Right.
I don't understand how he goes from that to shooting 28% or 30. His whole game is different if he can make free throws.
Yep. Yeah, and people are right to think that's why he's not even trying to be aggressive anymore, because he just what is he giving you? What is
Doc Rivers said that. Doc Rivers said that. I got to remind him, you know, if even if he doesn't want to because he doesn't want to go to the line. I'm pretty sure Doc Rivers said that. Maybe that was a dream I had. I don't know. Maybe it was a nightmare I had.
No, he did say something like that, and then he had some absurd comment saying that like 1 for 2 is okay mathematically or something like that.
He said, "We'll take 1 point per possession," and I'm like, "Dude, do you see the Hawks? They're scoring 3 points per possession. That's simple math, Doc. That's why they're hacking him."
Exactly. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know. Doc's got to have. He's got to have a good night. Shout out to the Digital Print House coming with the $5 super chat. Thank you. Says, "I was at Game 4. They are Cheeks' fans. I smacked the feathers off a dude after the game defending Ben's dumbass self. Ben and Yak almost got me locked up."
That ain't worth it.
Oh, man. I can't, like, All I'm saying is we got to win tonight. We have to win. If we were to somehow embarrass ourselves again at home, and it's crazy. I don't even want to go up with a big lead. That's how scared I am. I just want to maintain the game and break off late in the fourth. Like,
yeah. All right. So Joel Embiid had 8 turnovers in the last game. I don't know how that happened. Like, do you think that's the Hawks playing great defense, or do you think that was just Joel Embiid being like lackluster in the post and not watching the double team? I mean, that can't happen. The fact that we won that game when he shot 9 for 24 and had 8 turnovers is crazy.
Exactly, and that's why I think the Hawks kind of slipped up. But what I saw from Joel the last 2 games, it really feels like the first quarter he doesn't establish himself down low at all, because to me they're trying to pace him. Like, he's sitting at the top of the arc and he's trying to find Tobias and Ben. Last game they were both in foul trouble, so they really couldn't do anything. But I think when Joel's at the top of the key, or at the elbow, and he gets the ball and he's looking for the post, they can bring the double from behind him, and he doesn't really get to see it that quick. And they come behind it and pluck it away from him, or they force him into a bad pass. When he's down low with his back to the basket, I feel like he has better court vision, and he can just dish it out for a 3 if they bring that trap. But that's just what I'm seeing.
Yeah, you're right. When he ISOs on the perimeter, they can like sneak up from behind, and he can't see it.
Right.
He just missed a lot of shots that he normally makes. I'm never one of those people that says Joel needs to stop shooting jump shots. I love when he dominates in the post. I love when he bodies guys in the post. But his mid-range jumper is so money. I think he just needs to keep shooting it, and he'll shoot better than 9 for 24 or whatever it was.
Yeah, Joel's going to have a huge game tonight, and Tobias is going to have to keep it up as well. Even if he starts off cold, the one thing I know about Tobias is he's going to keep trying to attack. But we can't have a fourth quarter where the offense is only running through Seth Curry. Like, we can't have that. Like, guys are going to have to step up late.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's weird that we went this whole season, and then we realized, oh, you can't run the half court through Ben Simmons. You can't run the half, so you have to run the half court through whoever you have on the floor, and the only guard on the floor is Seth Curry.
Yep.
And now you're in the middle of a second round playoff series trying to create a new offense. That's what we're doing.
That's actually crazy. That's a good point. And Seth Curry's our second option, essentially. It's very interesting. But
yeah, it really is.
Shout out to Preston with the $5 super chat. Says, if we lose this game 7, what moves would you make in the offseason as GM? Well, all I can say right now is if we lose this game 7, there's going to be a big shakeup. That's what I'll leave it as.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, going through the Brett Brown era and Elton Brand being a new hire, or Colangelo. I guess Colangelo was a little bit aggressive, but the Sixers haven't done much. We were always that team that would sit around at the trade deadline and do nothing. Yep. We were always that team that would sit around in free agency and do nothing. And I guess Colangelo made some moves. I think Elton Brand was aggressive, but I think he was overly aggressive. I think he made he just went balls to the wall. Right. Trade, give everyone a max contract. I think it's nice to have Daryl Morey in here, and I don't think he's going to – the one thing Daryl Morey doesn't do is overpay people, and the first thing he did when he showed up, he was like, all right, number 1 on the list is this Al Horford contract. Get it out of here.
Yep.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got the dead weight out of here. I agree.
And no matter if Ben Simmons is a star or not, or is a polarizing figure or whatever, Daryl Morey doesn't care how popular he is. If his contract is this high and his value is this, he's getting rid of it.
Yep. Something's going to happen big time. We see the deficiencies, but let's just hope the value's there. But shout out to Mike coming with the $2 donation. Says, here's $2. He's a bit up on Ben. Look, we tried, man. We've continuously tried. There's not much for us to like.
He's up a bit.
We can't.
No.
Right.
I will not do that. I will give you your $2 back. I'll mail it to you. There is no chance of me easing up on anybody.
It's unbelievable, man. We got to hold him accountable. We have to. But
he said, I'm out. He said, yawn, I'm out. All right. See you, Mike. Thanks for the $2.
See you, man. Have a good one. And maybe Ben will put up 5 shot attempts. Shout out to Petey with the $10 super chat. My man, Great member. He says, game day, RB. Let's go. Yes, sir. Come on, man. Let's get it done. Let's go. I feel like as Sixers fans, we deserve this tonight, especially for what we've gone through in this series, man. It's been rough. Like,
it's been
so back and forth.
I just want this team to play like they're supposed to play. Yep. We played the Washington Wizards pretty much like we were supposed to play, except for Joel getting hurt. That's the only reason we lost the one game, because blank Simmons didn't show up. I just want them to dominate tonight. I don't even want it to be close, but I'm probably not going to get what I want. It's probably going to be close.
Yeah, we're about to get into that, man. We have to give our predictions. We want to hear from y'all in the chat. I felt like Trey Young had a ton of easy alley-oops last game. I feel like more than he normally does. Like, he was just drive the lane alley-oop, drive the lane alley-oop. That's another thing too. I'm tired of Clint Capella, man. I'm so tired of him. I want Joe to put up 40 on him.
He can't guard him at all, and then he wants to come out to the media and say, yeah, once you slow him down. Like, what?
Yep.
You can't guard him at all.
No, not at all. Shout out to Goliath here with a $5 super chat. Says, salute RB and Eastwood. Great commentary on the sports. Respect to both. Yes, sir. Maxey and Seth will lead us to a Game 7 win tonight. If Maxey steps up and has like a 15, 20-point game, and again, that kid just doesn't look phased at all. He went to the line late, 2 free throws. Looks like it was, just a regular game. I mean, that kid's going to have a drink tonight, even if they, he's underage, but even if they win.
Yeah, give him some champagne. I think we need a dominant Joel Embiid performance. Last game, he just missed a lot of shots. I don't think in this series we've gotten one of those. The first 2 games, he dropped almost 40 points, right? 39. I think he did have a 40-point game. I think we need another just Joel Embiid being completely unstoppable type of game. And that, makes them adjust defensively. That makes them bring more double teams, triple teams even, and it changes the whole game. And I think if we get, Embiid struggled last game. I think if we get a game where he's completely dominant, this won't even be close.
How do you think his knee is feeling at this point, though? Like, I don't even know if he has much left to give. Like, he's probably playing through so much pain, man.
Yeah, I think he is, but I don't see him that much like grabbing at it or wincing in pain or anything. He just looks tired, and maybe that has something to do with it too. Maybe. I don't know what a partially torn meniscus is. Some people say lots of grown adults have partially torn meniscuses and never even know it. So maybe he's in pain. Maybe he's not in pain. I don't know. Maybe it's just weak. Maybe he's not in pain. It's just weak. He can't jump off of it and things like that. I don't know. Yeah,
I noticed that too. He can't, and one thing we didn't even mention, but our pick and roll defense has been eating me away as I watch the game. Like the drop coverage, and Trey comes around every single time with that stinking floater. It's like, please make an adjustment, please.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to decide: do you switch everything, and then you end up with Trey Young on Furkan Korkmaz or something like that,
right?
Or do you let Ben Simmons try to go around every screen, and then he ends up just plowing people over and getting offensive foul calls? Right. But he just goes around a simple screen, and then Joel has to either step up or stand back, and he's either doing a floater or throwing an alley-oop. It's every single time.
And Clint Capella is that is literally what he does. He's a lob threat. So it's like, come on, man. We got to make the adjustment.
Yeah, and if Clint Capella didn't have the benefit of playing with James Harden and now Trey Young, like this guy is the luckiest guy with no basketball skill in the history of the game. Like he's like DeAndre Jordan times 100. Like that dude was a nobody until Chris Paul started throwing him alley-oops at the top of the backboard. And then without Chris Paul, he's nobody. And without a point guard like that, Clint Capella probably wouldn't even be in the NBA.
Yep, I agree. Shout out to Abe with the $20 donation. We appreciate it. Says, trade Ben Simmons in a first for Michael Porter Jr. What do you like? I mean, we could have had MPJ, but
the thing about the Ben Simmons trades, every time someone presents one, I try to figure out why the other team would do that. I don't know why the other team would want to do that. What is the benefit of putting Ben Simmons on your basketball team?
Yep.
I don't know.
It's not at that price, I'll tell you that. But I was talking to someone, and they told me the one point that we have to emphasize is we have to really sell it that, you're getting a young player that can do a lot of things well and hoping to sell that idea like a project. You know what I mean? Like that's really what we have to gauge it on.
That might be why Doc talks the way that he does in his press conferences. It might literally be Daryl Morey and him having an agreement. You're not going to bash him to the media because we want him to have some trade value.
Yep. Yeah. I mean,
and Doc does. He does it well. I mean, you guys want me to bench him? He's pretty good. He's pretty good. No, I'm not going to do that. He
said that yesterday again too. Yeah. They asked him if we would start Tyrese Maxey or consider it, and he goes,
he said in place of him.
Yeah, and he's like,
why would you even say that?
He's like, yeah, I'm not even going to answer that. What do you want me to bench Ben Simmons? And it's just like,
he said in place of him though. Like I don't think anybody assumes that Doc was going to do that. That's just a funny question. I can't believe that guy actually said that.
It was hilarious. Shout out to Dominic coming with the $5 donation. Says we need to sit Ben down and make him play 2K as himself.
Did you see that? Did you see that TikTok video?
Which one?
It was going around Twitter. This guy. It's he said 2K has some nerve, and it's like highlights of Ben Simmons shooting fadeaway jump shots and stuff, and he's like, really.
I didn't see that, but are you serious, man? That's. Well, if there would be any way to connect with Ben, you know, maybe it would be through video games.
Yeah, he doesn't play 2K though. He just plays Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, you're right. I got pretty. You know, I saw you comment on that picture too last game, and I mean, I don't like. I partially feel like it's a troll job now. But when he said, you know, I want to stay aggressive and stay assertive after last game, I was like, does he really believe that? Or no, like
yeah, like when I rewatched it, he made some plays. You know, he found Seth Curry a couple times. He had 9 assists, but like his fan brigade is overhyping 9 assists like it's the best thing that's ever been done. Like, are you kidding me? Good point guards get 9 assists with their eyes closed.
Yep,
that's not. We need more than that.
Yep, it's crazy. Shout out to Erica says you guys don't know basketball until you play it. Well, I think it's until UNTIL. But anyway,
and I played my whole life, so
right. I'm sorry, I didn't know that it took playing in the NBA to drive to the basket, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hate that. That's the thing that's a response that really gets under my skin when people do the whole like, oh, how many points could you score on Ben Simmons? Like, what? How long have you played in the NBA? Like that's what? That makes no sense. I can review a hip hop album. That doesn't mean I have to be a better artist than the person that made the album. It doesn't mean like you're allowed to analyze things, dude.
Exactly. And again, shout out to everybody in here. People come here for our opinions. Like this is just our opinion. You know, we never are saying it's a fact or 100% right. This is just our opinion as we see it from a fan's perspective. Like there's other channels. Like
that's it. I'm myself. I'm just a crazy Philly fan. I'm overreactionary. I am completely irrational. I am angry a lot. It's just who I am.
Yep, exactly. That's who we are in Philly. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I like this comment from Koba too. We're in Game 7. Doc still hasn't took advantage of Trey as a mismatch on defense. I agree. Why aren't we getting him in a pick and roll in a optimistic situation for us? We can take advantage of that every time.
Yeah, that's a great comment. I don't know. Are the Hawks that good at disguising him and like hiding him on defense? I don't know.
I feel like he's usually on like Seth Curry, but I just
Seth's been cooking him, so I guess
right, exactly. So I don't know, man.
I really hope Seth Curry keeps up his shooting the way in this game the way that he did this whole series because knock on wood, I don't want him to have an off shooting night. I just want him to keep firing the way he is. He looks so confident. I just love it.
Underrated and underpaid as well is Seth Curry, man. He just keeps getting better.
He really does. The one in the third quarter where the people on the sideline weren't back from the concession stands yet, and there was only 2 guys standing there, and he hit a 3, and the guy was literally almost on the court, and he was like shaking his head at him. I loved it so much. He's
confident, man. He is, and Seth was a big reason why we got going in the third quarter. He had 3 threes in the first 5 minutes. He's just confident. Yep. And again, it looks great with 2 ball handlers coming around a big center like Joel. But sad truth is Ben's going to keep getting fouled. Doc does have a choice. He does have a choice. Sit him.
He does.
So
he does. It's one of those, like, you know, Brett Brown didn't have really anything to brag about as his coaching repertoire or his coaching legacy or anything like that. So Brett Brown was like below Ben Simmons, right? So it felt like he couldn't do anything super aggressive or he would get fired for being mean to Ben Simmons. Doc Rivers is somebody that's supposed to have a respect and a legacy, and he can do whatever he wants with Ben Simmons. Nobody's going to say anything. It's Doc Rivers. So, sit him down if you have to.
Yep, I agree. We should see it again, but, you know, that's the logical move. But shout out to Annie with the $2 super chat. Says realistically, Ben's value is Kemba and maybe SVI. Yeah, I mean, who knows? It's just like we can't keep saying, you know, like it's just frustrating. Like we need to give this team the best chance to win a championship, and if we can't get through tonight, like, you know, the value's not going to be there. So we'll see.
Realistically, Ben's value is Kemba and maybe SVI. Who's SVI?
I was trying to figure that out too. I
don't know who SVI is.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure, but people are talking about Josh Richardson in the chat. That trade looks so good, man. Seth Curry for Jay Rich.
Oh, yeah, that's a ridiculous trade. I don't know how Seth Curry has been so underutilized his whole career. He got here, and it's like, I mean, but he's never played with a Joel Embiid that's going to draw double teams. He's never played with a Ben Simmons that, when he's aggressive, draws the defense in and kicks it out. Seth Curry has way more wide open shot opportunities on this team than I think he's ever had before.
Yeah, he does, and he's always thrived as a 6-man, but now, I mean, I'm just impressed with him. Just his poise, man. He looks really good. But before we get into our predictions, and still shout out 630 people in here. Hit the like, subscribe, man. It's going to be a good one today. Andrew with the $5 donation says, Giannis can't shoot, plays so aggressive, and still takes jumpers. 40 points, game 7 win. Why can't Ben play like that?
Yeah, it's the total opposite. Giannis has more confidence than he should. He just plays like a football player, and he shoots his team out of games a lot. Giannis should never be shooting a 3-pointer from the top. This whole, like, we want Ben Simmons to shoot thing is because we think he can shoot. Giannis, nobody thinks he can shoot except for him, and he should never shoot. And they should never run their offense with him ISOing at the top, trying to plow through Blake Griffin. It's just the most horrible half-court offense I've ever seen. And then Drew Holiday has to get the ball, and then they run an actual half-court offense. The Bucks don't make any sense to me. I don't even know how Giannis scores so many points. I really don't.
They don't, and you know, Brook Lopez isn't even like he's not even a center to me, to be honest. He has no game down low. Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton were cold yesterday. They were ice cold, and I just can't believe the Bucks are in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, and I want to play Giannis and shut him up too.
I think that just shows you how much the Nets actually don't have. Like, they just don't. They don't have a bench. They don't have any defense. It was just Kevin Durant scoring 50 points a game.
That shot that KD hit at the end of regulation, I was like, I couldn't believe. I didn't even know it was that close to being a 3. But
it was an inch away from winning the game. And
then he almost did it again, but I don't know.
Yo,
go ahead.
Who just dropped $200?
Yeah, I was about to get to that now. Shout out to my man Edward coming in with a $200 donation. My man Edward, thank you so much, man. It says, wow. Wish I could stop watching you guys, but I can't. You guys are like drugs, and that's a compliment.
Edward, I want to say I respect you. You're one of the guys that has come in the comments every single video defending your boy Ben Simmons. I like the fact that you try to defend him, but you don't absolutely hate everyone's guts that thinks the other way than you.
Yeah. I gotta say the same thing. Like, Edward comes on every stream video. He loves Ben, but, you know, He doesn't take personal jabs at us. You know what I mean? He doesn't call us bad people.
I wish I could stop watching you guys.
We're like drugs. Well, I appreciate that, Edward. Thank you for the generosity, man, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there as well. But man, thank you, Edward. We appreciate it. We're gonna keep doing this, man. We appreciate you guys, all the support, man, all year, especially through a tough year.
Yep.
You know, it's been a weird year to say the least. But
yeah, man, I've only been doing it for 2 years. I'm still not used to the attention, and I'm still not really used to having to get up because people are expecting something from me. You know what I mean? Like sometimes there's a trash Sixers game, and the next morning I'm like, I'm not talking about this game. I'm just gonna go. But people are expecting, and they want to hear my opinion. So you know, I'm still getting used to it. Really. Yeah,
no doubt. You got a great personality, man. It's people are continuing to come to YouTube for the honesty. You know, like we don't have a filter or an agenda. Like we just say what we see. You know, but. Yeah, we appreciate all the generosity. You guys have been amazing all stream. We're going to give our thoughts and predictions here, then we'll get out of here. But, man, shout out. We still got, almost 700 in here. Like, you guys are amazing, man. But
I feel bad when I kind of run out of things to talk about and there's 700 people in the chat.
Like, there's really not much for us to talk about. Like, it's game 7, everything on the line, and it could go, every little thing is going to be microscopic tonight. Like, we're going to be analyzing play after play late in this game, and it's going to be crazy, man. But give us your thoughts. Give us your opinions, how do you think this game plays out?
Me.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. I'll let you go.
I think Joel Embiid has struggled for 2 games now, shooting wise, and I think I think he's going to get back to that dominant. I don't think Joel Embiid. I think he has a next level of just will to win and want. And I think he's one of those guys that unless his heart stops on the court, he's not stopping. Unless his leg falls off, he's not stopping. I just think you're going to see a different animal tonight from Joel Embiid. You're going to see a lot more dominance, a lot more physicality in the paint. Hopefully the referees call it even, because last game we were getting tackled and they were not, and they were getting the foul calls. But, I think Joel Embiid's going to dominate, and we're going to put this team away by 15. That's what I think.
I like it. I agree with you that I think we put the Atlanta Hawks away and we save our mental sanity. But I have a bit of a different opinion. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of Game 7s. I watched last night. For some reason in Game 7s, teams have problems shooting the deep ball. And I think that this is going, like you said, I think it's going to come down to physicality.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, I think the Sixers can dominate in the paint. And I think that's why we win this game. I think Joel goes off. I think Tobias gives it 23, 24. And I think that late we hit some big shots. But I think Tyrese Maxey, again, is the spark plug because he's going to get to the basket. He's going to give us that element there. And I think it's going to come down to the last 5 minutes, but I think the Sixers pull off, make a couple big stops. And I think Joel's taken everything he's learned and all the motivation that, like, there's been so many sources of motivation that have been pumped right into Joel Embiid. He remembers, I'm sure he remembers today, crying after a Game 7 a couple years ago. He's going to let that fuel him, and I think we get the dub. I think we do. Tight
Dude,
game.
I don't even know what I'm going to do for the next 5 hours.
It's crazy, right? It feels like it's stuck. It feels like everything is just – and man. Game 7, 2 best words in sports. Game 7. But
yep.
Crazy, man. Shout out to Taz here with the $5 super chat. Thank you, my man. I think he's a member on both channels. Great member.
What up, Taz?
Man. He says y'all both need to commentate this game tonight together. I'll be on the play-by-play. DJ, it's up to him, man. I'm sure he'll be busy. So
yeah. It's Father's Day.
Exactly.
I'm surprised my kid has been this quiet for this long, actually, right now. He's right over there in the living room, and he hasn't made too much noise. So I should probably check what he's doing, honestly.
Definitely, man. Yeah, we'll get off here in about a minute. But shout out to all the fathers. And shout out to Shine101 here with the $10 super chat. Says, what's your guys' honest opinion? Why doesn't Ben shoot? It's easy to negatively speak on what we all see him doing. Analyze the psychological point if you can, fellas. Love your honesty. Why doesn't he shoot? My opinion summed up. He does. Like, I've come to realize Ben wants to be a perfect player. He doesn't want. He had that interview last year where he said, "I'd rather shoot 40% than, shoot more and shoot 30%." I think he just is content with his role. He thinks he helps the team when he's perfect, and I don't think he has the great mindset to be like, all right, I have to fail to get to success. So that's my opinion on it.
I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares at all. I just don't. I think he's perfectly content. Probably not even playing basketball. I don't think he cares. I think he was walked into the NBA with physical gifts, and everybody told him he was a basketball player, and I don't even think he likes the game.
Yeah, and in terms of the psychological point, in terms of like, I never wanted to push myself to believe it, but there is a mental hitch in Ben Simmons' mind. We went to the other game. I saw this man shoot 10 free throws in a row and knock him down pregame, and he cannot hit him in the game. I think he has like anxiety when he goes to the line. He definitely does. Pressure, and he doesn't even shoot the same as he does pregame.
But it's definitely possible that he has stuff like that, and we've probably never seen it before in an NBA player. I mean, right. I have anxieties in life, not shooting a basketball, but other things. Exactly. There's plenty of people that get in a situation and they can't handle it. Like, I guess I can compare it to like my height anxiety. I can't be up high at all. When we were at the game together, I had to go out and get a 9% IPA to calm myself down. I can't sit up high, and I didn't think about it until I sat down. But I can't stand on a bridge. I can't do anything like that. Like, I literally feel like I can't breathe. Maybe that's what he feels like when he's at the free throw line. Maybe he can't concentrate. Maybe his vision's blurry. He starts breathing heavy. And I don't know.
I think that's what it is.
Maybe that's what it is.
At the line, at least. Because I'm telling you, pregame, nobody around. I watch this man. The form was great. He was knocking him down, and he just – I don't know. It's just weird. But with that being said, shout out to everybody. Real quick, shout out to my guy, Luca Rosano. Great Toronto Raptors content creator, man.
What's up, Luca? I've watched his videos before, yeah.
Yeah, go sub him up, man. He's a great dude. We definitely got to work together again. But that being said, man, Game 7, it's exciting. It's nerve-wracking. Like DJ said, this entire day. Follow us on Twitter, too. We'll probably be tweeting and stuff, Come connect with us, talk to us. Oh, man.
Yeah, I tweet way too much, actually. I've been slowing down. I've been logging out lately because I just sit there and look at it all day. It's terrible.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Game 7, man. Everything on the line. Everything we've been working for last year's, this season, all comes down to this, man.
Channel the dog mentality.
Yep. Oh, I like that. That's
what we got to do.
You think he'll be in attendance again or not after last game?
Yeah, he'll be in attendance. He lives for it, man.
That place is going to be rocking, man. That place is going to be absolutely insane. But all right, guys, you all have a great rest of your day, and let's get a W tonight, man.
Yeah, man. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Yes,
win
sir.
it. Sixers need to win it.
What up? We got one more super chat in here. Shout out to Birds Nation with the 5. Says, why does this happen to us? Ben is soft. I want him gone.
Why does this happen to us? It's just Philly, man. It's crazy.
Hey, we got to get this dub, Birds Nation. We'll definitely catch you, my man. And let's hope Ben has a good game. Maybe he comes out and shocks the world, right? We'll see, man.
I would be happy. I would be happy.
I hope so, man. We need it. You guys have a great one, and we'll catch you later, man. Peace.